Hey gang, it's Jeff here with mixpractice.com and missionmusician.com, and I've got a plugin review for you today of Izotope's Neutron. Their little side tagline is a smarter way to mix. When I first heard about this plugin, my first reaction was a lazy way to mix. Now, I'm not going to make this a negative review. As a matter of fact, I think the plugin is a very good plugin if it's used how it's intended to be used. So this plugin, you put it on a track, it analyzes the track, and it applies EQ, compression, an exciter, and sometimes transient shaper. Okay? So what's the verdict? Well, I'm going to let you see for yourself. To me, the real danger in this plugin is a set it and forget it mentality. That I fear that new mixers out there will look at this plugin as the magic silver bullet that is going to give them radio-ready mixes. It is not. I promise you, I guarantee you, it is not that type of plugin, because that type of plugin does not exist. Okay, will it help you? Absolutely. It's Izotope makes great plugins. I've been an Ozone user for years now. I will not use anything else when I master except for Ozone. I think it's an awesome plugin. Their Alloy is an awesome plugin. They're just a good company, and they make good plugins. But I don't want new mixers out there to think that they can just put this on all of their tracks and it's going to turn out a radio ready mix. I even experimented with that last night. I put this on all the tracks of a mix and left it as it analyzed it, and it sounded harsh and boomy at the same time. So that's not to say that this is a bad plugin. Actually, this is a great plugin. I'm going to show you a couple reasons why in a minute. But first, I want to play the song that we're going to be using Neutron on. This is a song that we're mixing over at Mix Practice this month. And I also wanted to say why I am talking about Mix Practice really quick, that in October 2016, right now, we are offering a 25% discount if you sign up in October, and all you have to do is enter BOO in the coupon code. That's BOO. So if you want to come join us, we're having a great time over there. All right, so let's listen to this track really quick. Oops, something happened here. Hold on. Something happened with the kick. I apologize. I don't know where this was set at. All right, so you get the idea. Sorry about that. Sometimes when I have tracks selected, my fader port, I have PreSonus fader port, it'll automatically jump that track up to where the fader port is set. So that's what happened there. So I'm going to leave it right here for a second. All right, so let's open up Neutron and let's talk about the plugin itself. All right, so inside of Neutron, this is the interface. All right, let's get to the EQ here. My major complaint here, and I honestly don't understand what Izotope was thinking when they did this, is why would you put these numbers so grayed out that an old guy like me can't read them? I literally am looking at my screen and I can't tell you what numbers these are. So I'm really disappointed about that. But I can get over it, although it is frustrating to me that I can't see those. So what we have inside of Neutron is 5 modules right here. the EQ, the transient shaper, the exciter, the compressor, and another compressor. These are both multi-band compressors, which is super, super cool. We have track assistant, and I'll go into that in a minute. And while I'm right here on track assistant, there are different modes: subtle, medium, and aggressive. For this video, I am just setting it to medium. We have input output meters over here. Let's see. We have a feature called masking, which I'll go into in just a little bit. This is worth the price of admission right here. This is a really cool feature that is going to help you guys out a lot. And then we also have down here, we have dynamic EQ bands, which is super awesome. I love this. It kind of works on the premise of a de-esser. This is super cool. I love it. All right, so let's get to, let's see here. I'm going to see if I can just change this to clean really quick. All right, so let's do this. Let's put this on. I have this on my drum bus right here, and let me solo the drums really quick. All right, so this drummer has the most annoying hi-hat in the world, and he hits it really, really hard. So what I've done is I've rolled off to kind of get rid of some of that. If I were to take these off and just listen to it, how it was recorded. Right, so that's taming down those hi-hats. All right, so let's turn these off and let's see what Neutron does with the drum kit as a whole. And you absolutely can put this on a bus. Let's get over here and let's hit track assistant and let's see if it changes this to drums, and we'll see what it does. And this is why I say you cannot use this plugin as a set it and forget it plugin. It made the drums very harsh. It made the cymbals very harsh. Yes, it made the snare drum sound better. It absolutely did. But mixing is a compromise. You have to, it's kind of that yin and yang thing. You gotta balance everything out. And while it made the snare sound better, it made the cymbals sound very, very, very harsh. Let's listen to one more time here. Right, that is super harsh. So let's see exactly what it did. Here's the EQ curve that it applied. All right, let's see. So it put a low shelf at 54 hertz and boosted 2 dB. I personally don't have a problem with that at all. That's totally fine. It's bringing a little bit of the kick up. I'm good with that. What do we have here? All right, so at 200 hertz, it did a cut. That bothers me, and the reason it bothers me is because that's where the snare body lives. I don't want to cut any of this out. Let's listen to what happens if I, let's see. Let's see what happens when I raise it up. Listen to the snare. So it's taken some of the body of the snare out. Now, yes, we can EQ the snare on the snare track, but I don't necessarily want to do a 200 cut or a 3 dB cut at 200 hertz when personally, I think it sounds better boosted at 3 dB. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing here. All right, let's see what else it's done. So it's 739. It's made a cut. Let's listen to what 739 sounds like. Let's see, 4 dB. I'm not mad at that cut there, but to me, I think it would sound more around 400 to 600. Let's just slide this down. Let's remember it was at 739. Let's see if we can see where it gets really boxy. Right there. I think that's a better cut for this drum set. But I'm going to leave this at 739 if I can get it there. Let's see, does control work with this? Yep. All right, 739, and let's just leave it at 3 dB. All right, this is the major problem I have. Never on a drum bus have I ever boosted at 3K because it is harsh. It's a harsh area for cymbals. If I'm trying to find the beater head of the kick drum, sure, 3K, no problem. If I want some stick sound on the toms, 3K is no problem. But on a drum bus, let's just boost this up and see exactly what it is boosting here. It's at 2.6. I'm going to boost it up louder. That is the exact frequency I want to get rid of. All right, and also the exciter is adding to that. Let's see here. Hear how when I put it up at retro, which is where Track Assistant had it set, it gets harsher. I'm going to move it down to warm. That right there is a major part of the problem to this sound that it's creating. If it was set to warm, it would be much better. All right, and then we have a compressor on here. Let's see what it's doing. All right, so we got a 5-to-1 ratio, and it's doing between 7 and 10 dB of compression, which for me personally is too much on a drum bus. I don't want my drum bus being compressed that much, but it's not really squishing the drums, so I'm not too mad at that. It's fine. It's got a fast attack, a pretty slow release actually. Let's bypass it and bring it in. So it's gluing the kit together. It's just a little much for me. All right, so in this instance, there's no way I would set it and forget it because it made it way more harsh. Let's try it on a kick drum. Let's see here. All right, let's listen to the kick drum. I just turned the reverb off. All right, so it's pretty punchy. Let's see what Neutron can do here. Let's see. Let's turn. Oops. Let me hit play and turn Track Assistant on. Okay, so Track Assistant said it needs an EQ, an exciter, and a compressor in this exact order. Okay, so let's see what the EQ did. We got a boost at 40 hertz. To me, that's a little low. I'd much rather see it between 50 and 60, but okay. We got a cut at 150. Let's hear what that's doing. It's a 3 dB cut. I personally don't hear anything that's bothering me in that area. Let's see. We get 303. Let's see. It did a 4 dB cut. I want to move this up and see what I hear up higher. To me, that's a better move, but I'm okay with 303, I guess. It's not the end of the world. Bring this down to 4 dB. All right. So it's got the beater head at 1.7. That seems a little bit low to me. Let's listen. Not the end of the world there. It's not horrible. Let's see what happens if we go up higher around 3 or 4 or even 5K. Yeah, so it's somewhere between 2 and 4. I'm going to bring this back down to 1.7. All right, so not feeling like there's enough beef down there, but okay. Let's see what the exciter's doing. I'm not liking the retro up top. Kind of makes it sound a little bit harsh. Let's look at what the compressor's doing at a 5-to-1 ratio. Let's see how much it's compressing. We got a pretty fast attack and a pretty slow release. Getting around 5-6 dB of compression. So not bad. Not bad at all. I would definitely, again, I wouldn't set it and forget it. I would move things around. All right, let's try the bass. All right, so let's see, where's my bass bus? Let me turn this off. Bass. All right, let's listen to what I've got going on here. I've got 3 tracks here. One of them's doing some distortion. One of them's doing some sub bass stuff, and then the regular track. And they are all processed right here. I'm going to turn off the bus processing when I use Neutron, but let's listen here. All right, let's see what Neutron can do with this. All right, here we go. All right, so it has recognized it as a bass. And I want to mention something here really quick. I have notified Izotope about this. I sent an email yesterday. I was trying to use this on toms, and it was registering it as bass, and it should not do that. So waiting to hear back from them. Also, one other thing I forgot to mention is you can actually parallel process all of these applications, all these modules, just by sliding the slider down. So, if we only want to use a little bit of the CQ, we can, which is a really cool feature. I love that kind of stuff. And I also didn't mention, at least I don't think I mentioned it, I've only had this plugin for 2 days, so I don't know every little nook and cranny of this plugin yet. Okay, I haven't even gone over any of this stuff because I haven't read about it in the manual yet. I haven't gone through the whole manual. I just went through some basic stuff, so I want to be upfront about that. So, all right, let's see what it did to the bass. So we got a cut here at 86 hertz. That's a little bit high for me. I normally, I don't even normally do a low shelf. I do a high pass filter up to around 70. I like my kick living in the 40 to 80 range, and my bass living right above that. So, but I'm not terribly upset with that cut. Or yeah, with that cut. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. We're at 416 and we got a cut there. I'm not mad at that. Let's see, 600, there's a boost. 600 is usually where you find some cheapness, kind of a honky tone in the bass. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not hearing it too much there, so I'm not too upset with that. What do we got going on here on band 3? So at 871 hertz, there's another boost, and then there is a low shelf from 1.2K on. Just doing a dB. So let's bypass this and listen. So it's made it more mid-rangey. Kind of missed the bottom end of it. Let's see what the exciter's doing. And again, you can exaggerate these up. Okay, let's see what compressor 1's doing. So it's just using one band, very, very low ratio, very quick attack, kind of a long release. It's blended in 80%. There's also all kinds of other things you can do here. Again, I haven't read the whole manual yet. I'm just kind of giving a quick, as quick as I can, review of this plugin. Let's see what compressor. Actually, let's see how much compression this is doing at 1:7 ratio. All right, so it's just knocking a very little bit off. Let's see what this compressor's doing. All right, so it is using multi-band on this compressor, and it's got it rolled off. Let's see, 2-to-1 on the low end. Low all the way up to, I don't know because I can't read that. Looks like it's doing a quick attack, kind of a medium release. Actually, that's kind of a long release. Fairly quick attack on the other one and a shorter release. So let's listen to what this is doing. See how much it's compressing. We got a high setting here of 8-to-1 and a low setting here of 2-to-1. All right, so not overly upset with the bass tone. It's not full enough to me compared to what I had going on. And because this is compressed so much, it's a lot quieter. All right, so I want to show you another feature really quick, and then we'll do a guitar and a vocal, and we'll call it quits. I'm trying to rush through this as quick as I can. So this feature is really cool. I'm going to turn on the kick drum. I'm going to solo the kick drum, and I'm going to open up Neutron, and I'm going to click on EQ and matching. Or, I'm sorry, masking. And then we have a little box down over here, a little drop-down box. Now we can select the instrument we want to see if we're getting any masking from. So I'm going to choose the bass. Okay, so down here is the bass, and up here is the kick drum. All right. Now, if I turn this sensitivity up, it will start to show bars where there is masking. So let's just watch that really quick. All right, so it's showing down here again. I can't read these numbers, which is frustrating me. That there is some masking, and keep in mind, not all masking is bad. But if we want to gain more clarity between our kick and our bass, this has a really cool feature called inverse link. Now, if I click on this band and move it, this band is going to move the opposite way. So I want to bring this up to 60, and I'm going to boost it by 3, and it has done a cut down here at 60 by 3 dB. And let's see if we get some more clarity. So it is giving us more clarity. There's no really way to actually, I thought if I turn this off, it would reset the EQ, but there's no real way to compare by bypassing. So, but I can definitely hear it is clearer, and there's more separation. So I love this feature. I love the masking feature of this plugin, and to me, that and the dynamic EQ is worth the price of admission. Let's check a guitar here really quick. Now, I want to say right off the bat, before we do this guitar, it was not recorded well at all. It sounds terrible on its own, and it doesn't sound a whole lot better with my EQing on it. I'm going to move Neutron down here. So these are my moves. I haven't bypassed. Let's listen to the raw track here. So right off the bat, I am hearing major resonance. All right, let's turn on these EQs, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. You hear that resonance there? Watch this. It's awful, right? Oh my goodness. That's so bad. So I show you that because I want to see if Neutron gets it. So let's turn these off. Let's turn Neutron on, and let's use Track Assistant. Oops, I forgot to reset this one. All right, all reset. Here we go. All right, so it's all done. It has chosen guitar, so that's good. So what this EQ band is telling me here, it's saying, hey, this guitar's too thin. And while I do agree somewhat with that, I don't know that I would boost it at 200. Got a couple boosts at 200 and then one at 400. 400 might be okay. Let's see. Yeah. But what I'm noticing here, one, not a fan of this boost here from 9K up. I want this energy to be saved for the upper end of the vocal, for the cymbals. I don't really want the guitar up there. It doesn't need, 10K on up. It doesn't really need that. So I don't like that there, and I am noticing that it put in a dynamic band. Let's see here. Let me move this up at 6K, which is cool. That's where a lot of bad guitar tone lives, especially digital recorded stuff. So I'm not too mad at that. Basically what happens is when that frequency goes over the threshold, it brings the volume down. And we could adjust the threshold here if we wanted to, but what's disappointing to me is it did not get that resonance. This is why you cannot just set it and forget it. That frequency is awful. Let me turn that off. Let's see what else this has done. 4:1 ratio. This has actually used 2 bands of the multiband. I can't see what this cutoff point is. So it's doing 2:1 here and 4:1 here. Let's look and see what kind of reduction it's doing. So it is doing quite a bit of reduction. We have another compressor on that's a multiband that is doing 8:1 and 8:1. Let's see what kind of reduction we're getting here. That is a lot of compression on a guitar that is already compressed by distortion. So not exactly sure about that there. And finally, let's look and see what the exciter is doing. All right, so overall on the guitar, not bad. It warmed it up, but it missed that that real annoying frequency, which is kind of disappointing to me. I kind of thought it would find that frequency and get it out of there. All right, finally, let's try it on a vocal. Let me see if I can find the coarse vocal here. She never knew. There it is. All right, let's listen to what I have here. She never knew that we were wanted. Baby, stay with me and let's be free and own the world and take anything we want. All right, so it's warm, but it still has that upper end to where you can, understand what he's singing. So let's see what Neutron can do in this instance. And see here. All right, Let me make sure these are all reset. These are all bypassed anyway. All right. Let's see if it sees it as a vocal, and let's see what it does to it.
She never knew that we were wanted. Baby, stay with me and let's be free and own the world and take anything we want. Well, she found out that we were wanted.
All right. So just hearing that, I think it sounds great. I think it did an excellent job on the vocal. Let's look. All right. So it did a low shelf at 167 all the way down. That's not for me. I would probably roll up to 90 or 100 on a vocal. I don't want any kind of rumble in there. Doesn't sound like it's interfering with the mix, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Did a boost at 237 for some warmness. We have some dynamic bands at 822. I'm assuming to get rid of some nasal frequency, and 2.5K to get rid of harshness. We're doing a boost at 8K, and that is a good spot to boost a vocal. So far, so good. Compressor, we got a very low setting here. Let's see how much it's compressing on this one.
She never knew that we were wanted.
All right, so it's just getting a little bit of compression. Let's check compressor 2. Again, this is just a single band, but it's doing more compression. The first one is kind of a medium attack, kind of a medium release. The second one is a fast attack and a slow release. 8-to-1 ratio. Let's see what it's knocking down here.
She never knew that we were wanted.
All right, so it's knocking down quite a bit. So it's compressing in stages, and the compression actually feels pretty smooth to me. Let's check the exciter. So again, we got 2 band, and again, I can't read what that says, so I can't tell where the band is split at. Let's see. So it looks like it's got it set warm on the mid-range and the low end, and set to tape on the upper end.
She never knew that we were wanted. Baby, stay with me and let's be free and own the world and take anything we want. Well, she found out that we were wanted.
I think tape's a great choice for that. So it has done an excellent job on the vocal. I actually really like that. Let's hear the original one more time. How I mixed it.
She never knew that we were wanted. Baby, stay with me and let's be free and own the world and take anything we want. Well, she found out that we were.
All right, so it's much more compressed than what mine is, but I'm okay with that because it sounds really smooth. So I really like what it did on the vocal. So what's the final takeaway on this? Well, this is a great plugin with great modules in it. 5 individual modules. 2 of them are kind of the same with the multi-band compression. This will absolutely help you mix, but it's not a crutch. It's not a magic bullet. It will not mix your song for you. If you use it in the way that it is intended, you will get good results. You'll get a starting point, and from there, you got to tweak it. You can't just leave it if it doesn't sound good. You can't just assume that once you get it on every track, it's going to sound good. It's not. It's got to sound good in the mix. So I think this is a great plugin at a great price. If you Izotope is offering a cross grade right now. If you own Izotope Alloy or Izotope Ozone or some other, I think Izotope Nectar. If you own any of those plugins, you can get Neutron for $99, which to me is a steal for all the processing that it has in it, with the multi-band compression, with the great EQ, with the masking feature and the dynamic bands. The exciter. We didn't even get into the transient shaper at all, primarily because I haven't really even messed with it yet. But You get all these great effects in one plugin for a great price. So it is not going to make your mix radio ready by itself. You have to alter the tones yourself to make them fit together. That's what mixing's all about, making parts fit together. So definitely check this plugin out. If you like this video, subscribe and like it, please. And I will see you real soon in another video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.